I can sum up the show for you with one word. Nothing. Nothing? Nothing.
Everybody's doing something. We'll do nothing. I still don't know what the idea is.
This is the show, and we're not gonna change it.
All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of This is the Show. I'm one of your hosts, Alex Webb.
Casey McGowan, what's up? I've never done that before. Didn't feel good. Felt bad. I hated it.
It was finger guns and a click all at once. It was a solid combo.
I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I'm Casey McGowan. Happy Friday, folks. Episode 43. The actual episode 43 this week.
The real 43. The second we quit recording the last episode, I was like, was that actually 43? And Casey's like, I don't know. And then I went to go look and I was like, oh, that was 42. 100%. That was 42. So This is the real episode 43. Don't let those clowns from last week fool you. This is it. This is the show.
I was thinking about this because now we've done a year of this, and now it's like last week we had our 1 year anniversary. This week feels like, you know what, this week I feel like we got like last winter. I'm feeling like when we first started, like it feels more casual. I feel like we had a couple episodes with the holidays, and then I got coronavirus, and then and then we had the 1 year after the 2 week break. It was like a lot happening. This episode feels more casual, like we're chilling, you know.
It's we're kind of back to the old, to the old episode where it's just like us hanging out with, we did get an email, so we'll get to that, but it's just kind of back to our normal format.
So I'm feeling good. It's Friday. For you guys listening, we are recording on Wednesday night as we usually do. But how about this, Alex? This Saturday, so this Friday, I don't know how about this. I wanted to bring this up real quick. The Northeast is getting hit with the old nor'easter. You hear about these?
Yeah, I'm familiar. Describe it for the people who don't know at home, though.
It just means like a super winter storm. Like it just means like snow and sleet and rain and like it's just like, and it just like it's like it hits you. So we got that coming in this weekend. So if you guys are listening on Friday, make sure you cozy up this weekend. It's going to be a cold one. If you're on the East Coast, sorry, no disrespect to any of our West Coast or Southern listeners.
Sure. I'll say this. This winter, as we experience with most winters, feels like it's 3 years long. I feel like we've been in the depths of winter for years.
Well, you know what's crazy?
It's not great.
Well, you know what's crazy is January. This episode comes out still in January. Like January is like the long month, bro. The longest month of the fucking year. And it's the first month of the year and it's the longest. It will remind you that it's January, bro.
I am in this Discord server, and someone in there linked out a playlist, and like the theme was like spring road trip with your significant other or like your partner or whatever, and it was all just like very like warm, bright indie music, and I was listening to it and I was like, I need this to be real life. I need the days to go back to being a little longer. I want us to start complaining about the heat. We've been complaining about the cold for 3 years now. We need to start complaining about the heat, because I got some shit to say about the heat, but I need it first. And dude, like next week, it's going to be like 20 degrees at night here and like 50 for the high, which is like, the 50 is like whatever, but that in between, like when it gets down to like the 20s to 30s, that's cold, bro. That's cold.
How about this? I mean, tonight, right now, it's a cool 25 in New York right now. So It's a breezy
Yeah,
25 right now. And that was the high today. Like we're still in the highs right now. I think overnight when it gets real cold around 7 a.m. and 6 a.m., 16 degrees.
Whoa.
That's the real, that'll get you. But if you're getting in the 20s, that's how you know we need the heat. When Alex is like, bro, it's in the 20s in the desert. I'm like, uh-oh.
It's tough. And like, like it gets cold there, but 20s consistently, we had like days of it, I woke up and I forgot to turn the heater on in the house. The house was 57 degrees, bro. I woke up and it was 57 degrees in the house. You know how cold that is? And we have tile all throughout the house. My foot hit the floor. I was like, oh my God. And there's nothing you can do. Like you turn on the heater and like, an hour later you'll be warm, but Jesus, bro, it's the long winter.
Yeah, it's a long one. But I'll tell you this. So this weekend is the end of January, and the next week, February. And February, ironically, the short month, 28 days. It's quick.
Yeah.
And sometimes 27,
yeah.
that leap year. You ever think about that leap year? It's not this year.
I don't understand it. To be honest with you, no, it's not. No. I've heard a lot about it, but
well, I think 2020 was the leap year. I think that was it. It's once every 4 years. And I think it was 2020. I think. I don't know.
We had so much going on during 2020 that we didn't even acknowledge the leap year. We were like, just jump, hop wherever you need to go. We're here,
Yeah, hop me out of this this COVID, or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, so we got the short month coming. So folks, if you're listening, if you're in the winter blues, me and Alex are too. But that's why we're here. We're here for you every Friday. It's the warm.
Yeah.
I did. How about this? On Friday, this last Friday, I put on episode 42, episode 43. I put on episode 42.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this. I know we toot our own horn on the cast sometimes, and it can be a little gross, but I put on the cast, and this is the problem with the copyright thing for the YouTube. I know I got to change the theme song, but bro, our theme song with the Seinfeld drops, and it's like our bright screens. It's a warm vibe. It brings a little warmth.
It is warm. It's cozy.
Yeah, it's cozy. It's a nice song. It has a coffee pour. Seinfeld. It's a good vibe. The bright yellow artwork.
Yeah.
It's borderline tropical. Dare I say?
Are we a summer podcast?
Yeah, dude. We're a summer cast.
Maybe we just had we always thought that we were fall guys, but maybe we're like low-key spring summer guys. I will say this, I've found myself trending towards being a spring summer guy as I get older. Sure. Because life and maybe this is why everyone's like trying to run away to the beach all the time, is because life is so exhausting and heavy that you just got to get away to the beach, to somewhere warm, bright, and sunny, Yeah. And so I feel like as I get older, the weight of the world just, increases a little bit year by year. The pandemic, obviously, that's not helping us at all. Nope. And so I'm just like, we got to get to these long days, the bright, we're a tropical podcast, everybody. Welcome to the beach, baby.
Welcome to the beach shack, folks. Love Shack. You're in the Love Shack now. Get your pina coladas, bro. How about this? So we're recording right now for the folks at home. We're recording at 7:47 p.m. in June. If we're recording at 7 p.m., it's gonna be light outside. It's gonna be big and bright.
I cannot wait. I can't wait. I can't wait for the long days. And remember, and if you recall, so the very first time Casey and I ever did a podcast together, it was for
the Autumn Podcast. Yeah,
the Autumn Podcast. And I said my favorite thing about fall and winter were the short days and how early it got dark. I take that back. 2022, Al, needs the sun. Look at this, bro. Like this, like it's going down, and it's going down fast, and I'm going down with it. We need We need the light.
Well, that's the thing, is that I will say a little bit of positivity here.
No.
I did I did notice. No, don't even. No. But I did notice today it was like 5:30 and it was the sun had set, but it was still, you could see outside. It was not pitch black. And
Yeah.
a month ago, it was pitch black at 4:30. So I'm like, we are moving in the right direction.
It's true.
Like
It's true. We're past
December
the sunset.
21st, it's like 4:15 sunset, 4:30 dark. And right now it's like 5:08 sunset, 5:30 still a little bright out. And you're like, all right. I mean, we get to 6. Once it's still like twilighty out at 6, that's good. I like that.
Yeah,
6 is
yeah.
big.
6 p.m. is definitely big. I do think it's interesting. I want to research more. I won't, but I want to. I like the desires are there to look into what this effect is of like the when it's dark out and it starts to make you feel a little bluesy, like what that what's that all about? Like why can't our brains just be like, it's dark, get over it, like who cares? But just I don't know, something happens.
Seasonal affective disorder. I think that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, I think so.
I think that's the clinical name for it. But
Yeah,
how
maybe
about-
I should see somebody. I think maybe that's what it is.
No, I think it's dude, I'm feeling it. I mean, you texted me last week, I think, and you were like, bro, it is January. Like it is January just fucking hits in a way that other months don't. January is just like
Bullshit.
January is just like, fuck you, I'm January. Like if it had like a voice, that would be the voice. Like January wakes you up for school in the morning. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah.
June is like, bro, what's up? Sleep in.
Yo.
Yo, I'm June. What's good, bro? Put your bathing suit on. It's time to record the podcast when the sun's out. You know what I mean?
That's how you know. That's how you know we're in peak chill mode. Is if Casey's recording a podcast in his bathing suit and he's not going to a cookout or a barbecue or a community pool. If it's just Casey on a Tuesday in a bathing suit in his apartment in Queens, we're here,
Oh, dude, I'll tell you this. We didn't have the video cast. So if you are a longtime listener, and you remember, I would wear a bathing suit on the podcast, but we didn't have video back then. So this year, I'm going to show off the bathing suit, bro. The thighs are out on the
Let him breathe, baby.
Yeah, dude, I'm excited. I'm excited to bring back the podcast bathing suit look. And I'm also gonna wear like a Hawaiian shirt. Like I'll I was wearing a Santa hat in the winter. I'll get seasonal. I don't care.
No, yeah. No, we got to do it. But yeah, I'm fine. We're fine.
We're all right.
We're all okay.
Yeah.
We'll make it. I've now done, this is my 30th January. Okay. So like, we got this. I'm good for 30 more. You know what I'm saying?
I love how you only give yourself 30 more. You're like, I'm 60, I'm out. That's it.
Like it's just kind of, pad the expectations. It's like I'm good for and then we do a check-in at 60. Can I do well, probably can't do another 30 at 60. We hope.
Wow.
But
yeah, I mean, but I got one thing about seasonal affective disorder.
I think it's that.
So you were like, what is with our brains where we're like, it's dark and we get all fucked up? I think I could be wrong here, but I think that that our brains, like, I think it is this is, folks, I am not a science guy, I'm not a biology guy.
Nah,
you know
he
this.
is.
I am, but I love it. I'm a marine biologist, but what I was gonna say, I think it's because I'm scared of the dark. I don't know. Are you afraid of the dark? I'm afraid of the dark.
I'm afraid of being alone in my house, but not of the dark, just like specifically the dark.
You don't get a little bit more like a little bit more scared guy during the dark, like when it's night?
I just kind of not when, again, if there's like another person in the house with me, I'm chilling. But if I'm alone, I'm like, what was that sound?
Right.
What was, and the thing about being in the dark in a house is like you can't see out the windows, but you can clearly see into a window when the lights are on. You know, that's a
Spooky.
problem for me. And I've seen The Strangers, and
Of
that
course.
movie has ruined me. Like that made yeah. So that what the hell am I saying? I'm like
You're saying, are you afraid of the dark? Or it sounds like you're not afraid of the dark.
I'm not, but it's conditional, I guess is what I'm saying.
Conditionally afraid of the dark. Me, I'm
Yeah.
big afraid of the dark. You're like all the time. There could be a party in my house. I still don't like that it's nighttime outside. I'm not into it.
Yeah.
But
Right.
our eyes, now stay with me here. Our eyes are the
boy.
pathway into the brain acknowledging what's going on, right? So when you can't
That's
see
true.
what's in front of you, it is more natural to go into a fight or flight mode because you literally
Mm.
cannot see danger around you compared to when it's
Sure.
light outside, you can see what's going on. But nighttime, your eyes are like, fuck, dude. And your brain's like, hey, eyes, what's going on out there? And the eyes are like, bro, I don't know what to tell you. This is what it is.
I got nothing.
I got nothing. And the brain's like, come on, I need something. He's like, this is what I'm looking at. I'm looking at what you're seeing, brain. This is it. What do you? And the eyes are like, I'm taking the night off. Like, and they do. They take the night off.
They do.
So,
What's that Seinfeld quote? I'm gonna miss it, or like I'm gonna botch it, but it's like you're spotting coins, you're mistaken mailbox. It's like that.
oh yeah. Well, you're spotting dimes. You're eating onions. I don't know what to believe.
yeah.
Well, that's kind of what our nighttime brain goes into a little bit more. I think it could be. So maybe when it gets darker earlier, it's a repetitiveness of our brain being like, fuck, we're in the scary time. So we get like depressed or anxious or sad or whatever. Maybe it could be something in that. Look it up, folks. Right in. This is the show 69@gmail.com.
Yeah.
You know why.
You tell us. All right.
Yeah, we don't tell you. You tell us.
No.
We don't know.
It's a podcast where we learn from the listeners. You don't learn from the podcast.
No. And you should. Don't do that.
Don't. Yeah. We're like,
But-
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think you're onto something though. And I will say too, in general, like we as humans, especially now with all the screens and the artificial light, we're staying up way later than we should be. It's like oftentimes when I'm like freaking out or if I'm just having a bad night, realistically, it's like 11 p.m. My ass should just go to bed. Facts. Like
Yeah.
Like I always tell myself, I'm like, am I having a bad night or should I just go to bed? I think it's just like, go to sleep, in a shower. Those will fix damn near anything in my opinion.
It's true. And I'll tell you this, I'm probably going to go to bed after recording this podcast. Probably going to go to bed after this,
Dude, I went to bed super early last night. I fell asleep on the couch at like 9:30. I woke up at 3 a.m. and I moved to the bedroom. It was the best.
Isn't it crazy how, like, at least for me, and I don't know about the listeners, to write in if you agree with this, but isn't it crazy how, like, you can have one of those days where you're like, this is the worst day of my life. I have a headache. I'm anxious. I got all these health problems. My tooth, I got a sinus infection. I don't know what's going on. I got coronavirus, whatever. And then
Yeah.
you just go to bed and you sleep a good sleep, like a 8 to 10 hour sleep, sleep the whole night. And you wake up and the next morning you're just like, oh, never mind. It was just that. It wasn't none of
Like, that was weird, huh?
Yeah. And you kind of like, you're like the Hulk. You like come back down from it, So
Yeah, no, totally. I have that almost every day. And I always say, the key to a good day is a good night's sleep the night before, because sometimes you wake up, you're like, you get that bad sleep, you wake up and just right out the gate. Not everybody experiences this, but for me, right out of the gate, you wake up and you're just off. You're like, oof, something's not clicking today. I don't know what it is, but I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling work. I'm not feeling socializing. I don't want to do any art. I don't want to be creative. I just want to like be here. And like, that's it, It's like, and that's okay, folks,
it
be
is.
that.
Yeah. I mean, it's literally the definition. I mean, that's where the phrase probably comes from, but waking up on the wrong side of the bed,
It's true. It happens. So Casey, we got an email here.
We sure do. Sorry.
We need that as a sound, as like a sound clip. Every time I say that we got an email, use you know.
I'll clip it. I'll try
because you've done it like 3 times. Yeah. Get it in there. But I was gonna ask, did you want to read it?
I got it.
I read the last one.
it.
I don't know if you have it up, but yeah. All right, cool.
I got it pulled up.
Let's get into it.
All right, we got a question, or we got an email here, folks. So here's the thing. This email references. I'll just read the email first, and then we'll talk about what we're gonna do. All right.
Yeah.
So this is from listener Emily. Emily, we love you. She's written in before. Be like Emily. Write in. This is the show 69@gmail.com. But Emily,
Be like Emily, folks.
yeah, that should be a hashtag for the podcast. Hashtag be like Emily. All right, so here we go. Listener Emily. She says, "Hi, Alex and Casey. Hope you're doing well. It's me, Biweekly Banks. Fun nickname. All right, so it's listener Biweekly Banks. Back with some questions for you. I hope you don't mind. Number one, I have a hypothetical scenario at you both. If someone you know is having a party and you only know the person who is throwing the party, do you go? Is this an opportunity to make new friends? How comfortable are you both with this? Number two, I may be too early for this, but ranking Valentine's Day candy? Question mark. Also, opinions on the day if you got some. Oh, I got some. And then number three, wind, which is just hilarious. So fucking funny.
good.
So funny. Anyway, you both are truly a gift, and happy Friday to you both. Best, Emily. Emily, you're a gift. Thank you for writing in. We love you.
You're the best.
So Alex, tell them what we're gonna do.
So what we're gonna do? We're gonna take. Yeah, we're gonna take questions 1 and 3 because they're, approachable right now. For the Valentine's Day one, we will do this question, but we're gonna do it a little bit closer to Valentine's Day. We're gonna have like a Valentine's Day special the week before, so it's in 2 weeks. The week leading up to Valentine's Day, because I got more than a mouthful for the topic of Valentine's Day. Casey and I are going to talk candy. We're going to talk about Valentine's Day dates. We're going to talk about just the holiday as a general thing. So that's what we're going to do. But questions 1 and 2 we'll take, 1 and 3 we'll take today.
Yeah. So, and we'll probably do that ranking thing that Alex has. What is it called? The ranked system. We'll probably do that for that episode. So Valentine's Day is on a Monday. So that Friday before, February 11th, mark your calendars, folks. That will be the Valentine's Day. This is the show, candy rank, holiday discussion, is special, whatever. So we'll do it all then. But great to do that. We were thinking about doing that anyways because we haven't ranked something in a while. So
it's true.
Oh, dude, the chalk hearts don't even get me started. I can't do it. I can't do it in this episode.
You gotta wait. You gotta wait. And bro, you gotta get. All right, but this time you gotta get the candy, and not like a sampler where you got 2 candies and I'm over here eating Willy Wonka's factory. You gotta get like a lot of candy.
Yeah, you're right. I fucked up last time. Well, I bought 4 different types of candy, but I bought like 150 of them. That's where I fucked up.
Yeah.
I had this huge bowl of Snickers and fucking. And Reese's, Kit Kats, and Twix for like the entire month of October. It was crazy. Into December, basically. I had that candy bowl forever.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I still have some left over.
I'm sure. I mean, you were eating fucking Mike and Ike's followed by a payday. I mean, that was chaos. That was absolute
it was tough.
chaos.
It was tough. It was tough.
Surprised you survived it.
But yeah, so
damn it. Sorry.
I saw it. I saw the little rundown,
Yeah. The rundown starring The Rock and Sean William Scott. I've seen it. You ever seen that movie?
Of course, yeah. Doesn't he have like a big 2x4 in that where he just hits people with it?
Yeah, he hits him with the 2x4. That's a good movie. We should do maybe not. I was like, we should do a watch along.
Didn't age well. Yeah.
The idea of us doing a watch along for the rundown, just like a random
in April movie. For no reason, Yeah.
For my birthday, we'll do that for my 30th birthday cast.
No, yeah.
That'll be that week, whatever week that is. I think that's. Oh yeah, that's crazy. I'm gonna be 30 in 2 months. I'm gonna kill myself. But anyways, so why don't we talk about question 1 and 3? I don't need to reread. You want me to reread question 1 and then you can
Yeah,
start.
yeah,
All right.
yeah.
So
Dive
question
into it.
one was, I have a hypothetical scenario to throw at you both. If someone you know is having a party and you only know the person who is throwing the party, do you go? Is this an opportunity to make new friends? How comfortable are you both with this? What do you think, Alex? I'll put it to you first.
Yeah. All right. So for me, great question. This is highly conditional on the person that's inviting me. Um, it completely depends. You know, like, is it an acquaintance and they're like inviting me to like a kickback to like meet a bunch of different people? You know, is it like a networking thing? Is it a really good friend? Because if it's a situation like Casey's invited me to a party, you know, and he's the only person that I know, I'll go. Yeah, because I know that, you know, the company that Casey keeps, I'll probably be able to mesh with, get along with. So that's fine. If it's more of like an acquaintance, I'll probably still go, but it's tricky. One, I'm definitely bringing Shelby. I'm not going alone because I need the buffer of like, because Shelby's very like social, you know, she's chatting them up, she's riffing, like she's great, and she's great in a crowd. Like she can hang on in ways that I cannot, you know, and like just effortless. It's like, not like with me, yeah, I'm putting up effort. Like by the time I get home, I'm like, I just worked a 9 to 5 at this party, you know, like I'm beat.
Sure. Yeah.
But like I'll probably still go, you know, especially nowadays, because it's like I'm not getting out of the house much, so
Yeah.
you know, you definitely got to get out there, meet new friends. You know, that would be a plus, but I'm not necessarily like shopping around, you know, like
Sure.
I feel like I'm pretty like full on like my network of people that I know, and so it would have to be a pretty unique scenario to just like make a net new friend. Not that I'm opposed, you know, like I'm a pretty friendly guy, like we can connect, but yeah, conditional, and Shelby's coming no matter what, because I need her for the, you know, get me started in a conversation, get me a little bit more comfortable, and then from there it's taken off. So yeah, what about you, Casey?
First of all, that's the second time you've used conditional tonight for
That's
a
true.
response.
That's true. But it's because it's true. I needed the word, so I brought it in.
Yeah. I was gonna quote Seinfeld. You like saying conditional, don't you? when George keeps saying the same word, Jerry's like, you like saying that, don't you? But so, not to be this guy, but I'm gonna throw this at you because I feel
Sure.
like you gave yourself, and I respect it, a big respect for this. You gave yourself like well, Shelby's coming, so I'll be fine. I can do it. How about this? You got the invite. You only know the host. Wife's out of town. What do? Do you go? Like Shelby's not available. She's in Florida or she's in California. You just can't go. So you're just home, but you got a party and you only know the host.
I'll go. I'm gonna say I'll go. You know,
Solo go.
yeah. Put me in the moment. We'll see. Like, that's the real pressure test. Is like if this actually. But yeah, I'll go. I'm saying I'll go.
Yeah. Well, how about this? I had one of these. Now I did not. Let me just preface this by saying, I think that just because what you said about like friends, like, is this an opportunity to make new friends? It is. And you know, it's fun when it's not, if you're not going out looking for friends, when you end up at a party, like if you're at a party where you only know the host and somehow you end up meeting someone and all of a sudden you guys start like clicking as friends, that's exciting, you know, because that's like a spur of the moment. Like, I like this guy. I met this random guy or girl at a party and all of a sudden we're friends. That's fun, you know?
That's true. That's true.
So it kind of like opens it up for that opportunity and it doesn't feel like forced friendship. Now, what I'll say is in the comedy community, there's a big thing that happened. It still happens even during coronavirus, still happens, I'm sure. And it was happening over the summer and blah, 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 when things were opening back up. But it's a big thing in the comedy community for like a comedian to have their birthday party at a bar in New York, like in somewhere in Brooklyn or wherever. And then it's just open invite. It's like whoever is in comedy. And if you know any comedians, you could go. Now you could gauge a party. Like my friend Alon had a birthday party at a bar and it was an open invite thing this last summer. I went to that one because I know Alon who's throwing it. And every one of his friends are my friends. So I know that it's just going to be everybody I know. There have been parties where it's like, I know the guy who's like, I'm having my birthday party tonight, but I'm not really in his like circle of like close friends, but I know them
Yes.
as comedians that are like
Yeah.
acquaintances. I gotta be honest, I'm usually a skip guy in those scenarios. I'm not
Mm.
I don't need to. Now, granted, those are people I know, like they're like comedy acquaintances, and I'm just not
Yeah.
friendly with them, like fully friendly.
Yeah.
That feels almost more awkward to me. And tell me if you, and let me know if you agree with this, but more awkward than going where you only know the host and you don't know anybody else. Weirdly, that seems more exciting than knowing a bunch of acquaintances who you don't really hang out with, but they're like, hey, and then you have the like 5-minute conversation about nothing. And then,
It's true. I'll also say a big factor here. I'm not going to say conditional, but a big factor, bringing in a different word.
you can take conditional.
I'm not gonna.
I shouldn't have called it out. Now you, now
No,
you're bad
I
with it.
know, bro. The second I said it, I was like, that was the second time I said it. And granted, I needed to use it, but I'm gonna say factor. So another factor that comes into play here, location, because the bar thing, that's a huge call out, right? At a
Uh-huh.
bar, you can kind of like mingle and come in and out of conversations as need be, like
Mhm.
there's not a lot of social. Now you take that same idea and you put that into a small apartment,
Yeah.
it changes if you don't know anybody, because you're kind of like, and maybe this is just a me thing, I don't always necessarily know how to engage with just like straight up strangers at a party where like the host, like if I'm going to a friend's birthday party, I only know the friend whose birthday it is.
Yep.
Everybody else is a stranger. I kind of feel like I'm an obligation that the host has to keep coming back and checking up on me. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
I
Like,
hate
hey,
the
how you
check-in.
doing? And
Yeah.
it's like, I'm fine. Don't leave me. Don't even come over here. I'm hanging out with the chips. And this is like, you knew I didn't know anybody else. Now, so location's a big factor. And then, yeah, also like how many people are going to be there, because it kind like you also get into this weird space where like, if it's like an intimate gathering, like, dude, okay, perfect example. I hung out. Oh my God. Okay. I hung out with, oh my God. Okay. So I hung out with,
Oh boy, I'm excited.
well, it's because they like came back to me in waves, and I was like, oh, this is that feeling. I was hanging out with friends in San Francisco one time, and I only knew the couple. I didn't know any of their friends, and this was like a close knit group of friends, and it was like inside jokes the whole night, and I was just kind of like on the outskirts,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
and that's cringe, bro. That is tough. That's so uncomfortable, like
Yeah.
when everyone's riffing and they're like, you remember back in high school? And I'm like, no, because I met you 45 minutes ago, and can I have some more wine, please?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so like, if it's an intimate gathering of close friends and you're like the X factor here, like you're the stranger, oof, that's tough. Don't recommend it.
Yeah. And I'll say this. So I have a friend, Tony, who I play music with. We're playing this Sunday.
Shout
He's
out
like
Tony.
my jam friend. I met him through another friend who was a comedian. We all used to play music together. That friend moved away. Me and Tony kept in touch, became independently friends, and we still jam together.
Yeah,
And now
that's
Tony
great.
invited me to a Christmas party at his house this last December.
Mm-hmm.
I only know Tony. I don't know
Yeah.
any other people. It's just like work friends and his wife's friends. Like it was like way no one that I would know. It was, and it was an apartment party. Now, granted, I was gonna go, but they ended up shutting the party down because Omicron blew up.
Sure.
So I didn't get to
Yeah.
go. But I wish that I could have gone because I would have had that experience so fresh for this question. But I remember thinking,
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna go. Like I remember being like, I think I'm gonna do this. Like I'm gonna go. I would only know Tony. I haven't even met his wife. Like I've never met the man's wife before.
I've never even met his wife.
So like the idea of like I'm meeting his wife for the first time and I'm meeting everyone he knows and is friends with in New York City. Like I was thinking about it though. I don't know. I got the little vinegar in me, and I was like, I think I'm gonna do this. It was
Well,
interesting.
because Yeah, there's also a part of me that's kind of like trying to chase a story a little bit, you know, where it's like,
Sure.
oh, this could either be a lot of fun or it could be a complete disaster. And either way, I'll have something to say about it. You know what I mean? Like,
You get to talk about it on the
um,
podcast, especially now that we have a cast. I mean, come on.
yeah, it's like I'm looking for bad shit to happen to me sometimes. I'm like, this is gonna make a great story, you know?
Yeah,
It's like-
sure. Anytime I take public transit, I'm like, this is big. I was like, there's good stuff. It's gonna nothing bad can come out of this. I mean, bad things will happen, but it'll be good
Yeah.
for the show.
Also, I will just say, and this is a big caveat to that interaction, or to the story of like going to San Francisco with the couple, and I didn't know it was an intimate group. I walked away really great friends with like everybody at that party by the end of the night.
Hey,
So
it's
I
pretty
mean, it
big.
wasn't for nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I paint myself as like this guy who is like awkward, but I do okay. I do all right.
I do all right too. I can, you know what I can be in the oh, sorry, I
Dude,
cut
you're
you off.
you're the no. You're like the best in like social. It's like, bro, Casey's a +1 because you have a similar quality to Shelby, where it's like when you're in a public, like you just kind of put it on and you're like cool
Yeah,
as a
yeah.
cucumber. Me, I'm actually hell. Like it's brutal. You are fine.
Well, well, you know what I can be at a party? I can be fun. I can be fun
Yeah.
because I'm not trying to like be this guy, but in general, and I know this because like I would never interact. I like this. Yeah. At the end, it's like, I can be fun. I know
I can be fun.
yelling at the top of my lungs. I'm fun. No, but
Holy shit.
in the old days when we went into offices, when I worked at Buck Mason, I remember they'd have work happy hours. I would never go to them because I don't normally put myself in those scenarios. Did you just change your color?
I don't know what just happened.
You
Bro,
just
this camera is like on its last leg, bro. I swear to God.
Well, you know what just happened? You were really warm and then you turned into January. You have like a January color tone right now, bro.
That January filter finally hit.
Yeah, bro. But anyways, what was I saying?
Buck Mason office
Oh,
parties.
yeah. So I would never go to them because I didn't like putting myself in those scenarios because I wasn't really friendly with a lot of people that I worked with. And I wasn't very social. But the rare times I did, it was like, I can get a laugh, I can be a little,
Yeah. You're in there.
If I need to,
Chopping it up.
Yeah, if I need to, I can be fun. And that's what I was thinking with Tony's party, where I was like, I bet you I could like, because I'm a comedian, I can make it happen.
That's what I'm saying. See, I'm not. So it's like, it's actually like,
you're a comedian. Come on. But
No,
you've been doing a podcast for a year. What
I've
else
been,
are
I've been
you if you're
talking
not
with
a-
my best friend for a year. That's not,
That's
yeah.
most comedians these days. They all have podcasts. That's what they do.
But because I don't have that, like, like that exercise of just like public speaking and like socializing and like, because a big part of comedy, from what I've discerned from stories, from you and like, from other people, a lot of it is like going to bars and like, socializing and just kind of like riffing and chopping it up with people. And just because of that, you're going to parties only knowing one host and, walking away with friends all the time, because that's kind of a part of the business, or at least making connections.
It is. Yeah. You got to be cool. You can't be like a weird. I mean, there are a lot of comedians are really weird and introverted, so they kind of have to force themselves out of their shells. And a lot of people that are like that can be not outside their shells, and they're not forced to do it because they're in an industry where you're at a fucking social situation all night. So people kind of get more and more inside a shell, like people can get more and more awkward. But for comedians, it forces us to, and we might not want to do it. Most of us do not want to do it, but it forces you to. So you do get a little less. Although I don't know. I can get anxious at parties though. I can get weird. Like I can also shut down and like not, not want to do it. Like you said, it's conditional. Depends on the night. It's conditional.
It's conditional. Yeah.
Conditional's big
no,
tonight.
definitely.
This is the week of conditional.
I also like, I'm not going to say it's a character flaw, but a big thing about me is like, I truly have no problem. In fact, I would say that I enjoy most times being a wallflower and a spectator in groups where I'm not familiar with, where I'm not familiar with anybody. So I have no problem like hanging out by the chips by myself, that's cool. I'm like, cause like, that's what I showed up for. I've signed up for that in my mind. And then someone comes over and they're like, so what do you do for work? I'm like, I actually just quit today. And it's like, I didn't, it's like, I just start like saying some shit.
Yeah.
So it's tough, but now you get me around all my friends and I become like a hyperactive weirdo because that's like my true self. But it's just, again, being around people you don't know. Yeah. I don't know what it is too. It's like, because when I was younger, I used to like not care. Dude, getting older is the best and the worst thing that's happened to me like all at the same time.
And to everybody.
It's like, true. Yeah. That's big true. Because I mean, with it comes like I thought I'd be like more relaxed. I was way more relaxed and like I didn't give a fuck about what anybody thought about me. Like when I was younger, I was just kind of being a little hyperactive weirdo and just kind of. But now being hyper at 30 is like, ooh, what's wrong with this guy? It's like it's kind of tough to watch sometimes. So
weirdly, as you get older, I don't know about this, but like it feels like you care more and less at the same time. Does that make sense?
Yes, that's exactly how I feel.
Because I care more about how people perceive me as I get older, which is why a lot of people that are in their younger 20s or teenagers, they think they know everything and they'll just mouth off to people. You know what I mean? And the reason that you don't do that when you're older is because you learn more and you understand that, whatever. And so weirdly, but at the same time, though, you might care more about going to every social event when you're in your younger 20s. And now I couldn't give a fuck. So I care more and I care less. It's interesting. It's as I get older.
It's true. It's true. Same thing with like mortality, like I never thought about that when I was younger. Not really. It wasn't until I entered like my mid 20s that I was like, oh, this is like a finite thing that I'm doing here. Like this has a beginning, a middle, and an end. And like the end could be soon, like who knows? Like we don't know. Right. And so like that, like that just kind of comes into the whole overthink. But then in other situations, it's like, it's kind of like what you're saying, where you're like, oh, I'm actually like really confident and like comfortable in what I'm doing in this thing, It's also weird. I don't know, like work becomes a personality or like you can let it become a personality when you get older. It's just the whole thing. It's like, like when people ask, so what do you do? And then people just talk about their job and it's like, okay, but what do you do? It's like, that's like a tough thing for me. But then also, I'm no better because, people say, hey, what do you do? And I just tell them what I do for work,
Well, it's interesting because guys like you and me and a lot of people we know, and maybe listener Emily's like this, I think some of our listeners are like this because they like our show, is that I wish that like the small talk aspect of like being at a party where you don't know anybody and you have to go, what do you do for work? And then you just talk about work and blah, blah, blah. And then it's kind of this boring back and forth. I would prefer being like, let's talk about wind. You know what I mean? Let's talk about any, like, you know what I mean? Because you and I are good at that. And that's more what I'd rather do. Because doing that weirdly showcases more of your personality than just talking about your job,
Oh, for sure. I mean, especially if it's truly in just a social setting where like there's no like career networking. Where there's no like career or like networking property to the hangout, where it's like you're just like there to like be with your homies and like hang out with other people. Like, just be yourself that's not plugged into work all the time. And I guess like, if you're somehow doing what you love for work, also talk about that. I'm not saying that that's bad. You know what I mean? It's just kind of like,
it's not bad. It's just, mix it up.
Other shit,
chop it up. We like to chop it up. You and me are big chop it up guys.
We truly built the whole podcast around it.
I watch the episode of Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee episode with Larry David like once a year, and I just watched it the other night because I was having a shitty day and I put it on. It makes me feel better. And every time they have a moment where they're just talking outside the car before whatever, Jerry says to Larry, he goes, it really is a miracle that you and I ever got any work done. And then Larry laughs, and then Larry goes, it's true. Nobody does nothing quite like us. If I hear that, it reminds me of me and you. It's like nobody can do more than us. Like less in the sense
So
of like
true.
talk about nothing, chop it up, sit around,
Yeah.
or like whatever. So it always makes me think of that.
So true. Yeah, no, 100%. That's our whole thing here.
Yeah.
Um,
We only got like
so
8 minutes.
I know.
left. We
I know,
only got
I know,
like
we
8
gotta-
minutes to talk about wind. We fucked up.
I know.
But that was a great question. There was a lot.
That
in
was
there.
a good question.
Yeah.
That was a good question. And I'll say, got me thinking. I mean, that took off from like, not even just the hangout, but like other, like what do you talk about when you are in these situations? Yeah, it was good. Yeah, good
Yeah.
prompts. So prompt number 3, Casey, I'm gonna pass this one over to you for the for the response here.
Yeah.
Wind, thoughts, feelings, concerns.
So the first thing I did, I pulled up wind on Wikipedia because you know what I Googled and nothing came up. I wanted to find out when wind was discovered, and it
Jesus.
says, but I don't think it's really something that you can discover, right?
What the fuck was that?
Well, everybody had something, right? Somebody had to give it a name,
That's true. It's probably some
Like-
Greek shit like Windows or something, and then we just got like distilled it down,
I like the idea of somebody going, "Wait, what?" Bro, did you see that? And some other guy's like,
No,
"Bro,
but
I'm doing it too."
It's like, no, but I felt it.
Bro, I felt that shit. What was that? I don't know. Bro, you ever notice how the trees be doing it? What the fuck, bro? It's the same thing.
Existence is
Um,
hell. So,
but-
so what did Wikipedia have to say?
So I'm just gonna tell you what the wind is here.
Thanks.
So the wind, this is what it says. The wind is caused by differences in atmospheric pressure, which is mainly caused by temperature difference. I didn't know wind was big on temp. I didn't know it was like, I thought it was,
that's
I
how
thought it was
hurricanes start. That's why it always happens on like coastal shits, because like there's
It's
such
true.
erratic temperature changes.
When a difference in atmospheric pressure exists, air moves from the higher to lower pressure area, resulting in winds of various speeds. On a rotating planet, air will also be deflected by the Coriolis effect. I don't know if I'm saying that right.
That sounds right.
Except
sounds good.
exactly on the equator. Globally, the two major driving factors of large-scale wind patterns are the differential heating between the equator and the poles, north and south,
Of course.
and the rotation of the planet. So I thought wind was, because when you think wind, I think we're moving on the planet, and I'm like, it's bound to make something happen. That's
We're spinning mad fast, bro. It's
Yeah, I'm surprised it's not more windy out, given how fast we're going. I didn't
Holy
know it was
shit.
a temperature thing. So that was, I learned something.
Emily's out here properly educating Casey by proxy of her questions.
Yeah. I'm talking to one of my roommates later. What'd you do today? I just worked. I found out what wind is. Like, what'd you say? Yeah, I mean, did you know that it's based on
Holy
temperature
shit.
and atmospheric pressure? Bro, you ever
They're like,
ever
yeah.
this is a sidebar, but I always think about stuff like that, like wind, like ocean stuff, in general, like mountain stuff. Like, I always-
My guy's out here thinking about Earth and shit. It's crazy that you don't smoke weed. I just want to say on the record.
But you know what I mean, though.
Amazing.
You know when you just
It
you know when you
defies
just think-
science.
you know when you just be thinking about stuff like like
Yes.
like cardboard or like like granite or like sheep.
Granite.
You never be thinking about granite.
Dude, I've been thinking about shit all the time.
Oh,
It's
dude,
just it's like cardboard. Oh my god, bro. You ever been thinking about sheep? Yeah, when I'm trying to fall asleep.
Well, that's the
Oh,
clip for the
fuck,
episode right
bro.
there. That's the clip right there. But
Oh shit, bro.
but you never. I just be thinking about I'm thinking about that vinyl on my lamp, right? Like look at my lamp, Alex. Look at it. Look at it. You look at me. Look
I
at
see.
the vinyl on my lamp.
Okay.
I look at my lamp
like
and I
the
go,
shade?
Yeah, the shade, the
Like the
vinyl
shade?
shade. Yeah, yeah.
Vinyl. Okay, yeah. Sorry. Okay.
I look at that and I go, what is that? But you know what I never do? I never do this. I never pull it up and look it up. And that's why this was
Look it up.
exciting. You know, I learned about wind today.
Because you follow shit. Excuse me. I'll never recover from this. You followed through with the curiosity. That's what happened. You were like, what's this? And then you're like, let me find out. It's just
Yeah.
that last, it's that last part, the let's find out part that really
yeah.
pulled
A
it
lot of
over.
people.
No, I know what you mean.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, on the topic of wind,
Yeah.
it's like most things. It's great in moderation. Too much of
Sure.
it, and it's a bad time. But not enough of it, also not great. You ever get those where it's just there's no wind and it's
Yeah.
weird? You ever get that?
It's like the desert. I imagine that's big in the desert. Still air.
Very still.
Spooky.
Oh, I almost claustrophobic in a weird
A
way.
little bit.
You could be out in the open, but no wind, tough. But that's the thing about Arizona, or at least where I live in Arizona. So windy.
Big wind out there.
A lot of wind.
Well, I'll say this about wind, like my thoughts on wind. I got to do it. It's conditional. Wind is conditional. How I feel about wind is conditional, bro. Because you know why? Winter
Why?
wind tonight, bro. I don't like
Tough.
that wind. It's 25
Tough.
degrees out, and now you're gonna throw wind in my face? Come on. What are we doing?
Well, what do they call it? What do they have? It's that
nor'easter.
wind chill factor.
Oh,
It's
shit.
the wind chill factor.
Oh, yeah, the wind chill-
nor'easter.
I thought I was gonna call
Trying to bring it back.
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, it's the wind chill factor. That's why you got to get the feels like. Everybody, we've
Yeah.
talked about the feels like before. You got to go to the feels like because the wind.
You got to look at the feels like, because that's what it's gonna feel like. Who would have thought?
But here's the thing.
Holy
So it's
shit,
conditional.
breakthrough.
Winter wind, tough.
Yeah.
Summer
Brutal.
wind, nice, bro. Love
Great.
the summer breeze. We're summer guys now. 'Cause
This is a
that's
summer podcast. We're a summer podcast when it's the dead of winter, when it's January 26th. We're summer guys. I promise you, August, and we're gonna be begging for the dark of winter.
Yeah, bro. We are a conditional podcast. That's what we are.
Yeah.
It depends
We're-
on whatever it is. We want whatever the opposite is.
It's because truly we're spring fall guys. We like the middle.
Yes,
We don't
yes.
like too much of anything. It's just
Yeah.
just relax a little bit. Just be a little bit cooler, a little bit warmer. Just relax.
Yeah,
You
be
can't
in the
relax
middle.
in the heat, but you can't relax in winter either.
August is the
wind though.
Oh, sorry.
Well, I was just going to recall this one quick memory that I have of a windy moment, and this is
Please.
not bullshit. So in the town that I grew up in Alaska, so windy all the time, wind, just 24/7 wind.
Mhm.
But it would occasionally get so windy that you could lean back and it would hold you up. You could go to a 45-degree angle, and you could just
Wow.
lean up against the wind because it was blowing so hard. And I remember walking home from school one day, and it was blowing so hard. I was third, fourth grade or something like that. And I jumped up. I had this big parka on. I jumped up and it moved my ass. It pushed me back a couple of feet. I was like, oh, this is the best, So wind can be fun.
You ever get the
And-
yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, sailing,
Yeah, you need it.
You can't travel the world with sails without that wind, baby.
Yeah, you need the wind. But I was gonna say this because you're talking about the wind can be fun. You ever get the billowing pants because the wind is pushing the pants far back around your legs?
The best.
I had the billowing pants yesterday. I had the billowing pants because I'm wearing what are they called from last week? The new pants I got with the side pocket.
Chinos.
Yeah, they're not as tight. They're not skinny jeans.
Yeah.
So
Loose.
I got the billowing pants yesterday because it was windy.
I'm a loose pants guy now. That's another thing about well, granted, this is like a style shift in our world where skinny jeans not so big, but just on the comfort level, I was out on skinny jeans a couple of years ago, truthfully, because
Sure.
you need the comfort. Nobody, when you're in your early 20s, you don't care about comfort. Comfort's not on your mind. You're
Yeah.
trying to look hot, period. And if you're telling me that you're not, you're lying to me, and I don't care. Everyone's just trying to look in their early 20s. Me, 30, forget the fact that I'm married, because I'm still trying to look good for my wife. But 30, I'm also trying to be comfy, dude. That's huge. Comfort's huge. I'm sitting in this seat 10, 12 hours a day. You're telling me I'm going to be wearing 511s, just hugging my thighs? No way.
Yeah, bro. Plus you don't get the billowing pants. Windy day.
You don't get the billow. Yeah.
No.
I mean, shorts was a game changer, honestly.
Billowing Baggins, right? That's something. Is that something?
That's my favorite Hobbit. Yeah.
He's the number one. He was the original.
He's
right?
the number one. Yeah. I think he discovered wind, actually.
I wouldn't believe it. If the problem with being back in the day is, I mean, there's a lot of problems with being back in the day, but
Most everything.
But one of the big
No
ones is
penicillin.
no penicillin. I mean, I'm probably gonna have to take penicillin. I got
Racism.
fucking poofed up cheek right now. Does my cheek look poofy to you?
No, it looks, you got the classic McGowan cheeks, bro.
All right. They both look even.
From where I'm sitting, sure. But write in, folks. If he looks unbalanced or like he's got a poofy cheek, don't tell him, actually. Don't write in.
Yeah, don't write in.
You'll never get another episode out of us ever again.
No, but what I was going to say about one of the problems about being back in the day is, besides the no penicillin and the puffy cheeks, the whole thing, but like wind, like if they discovered wind, that's why like the Greeks and the Romans were like, bro, the gods provide the rain. Because like that's the thing that somebody could be like, yo, the wind, what is this? There's no internet, there's no Wikipedia. Some guy, some fucking Joe Blow could come up to you, no pun intended, and be like, hey, that wind was invented by a wizard, right? And the person's like, what? And what's like, really? And they're like, yeah. And then like for 100,000 years, they think that the wind's caused by a wizard.
It's 100% true, bro. Lack of science.
Until a fucking
tough
apple. Yeah. Until an apple falls on Newton's head, we didn't know what gravity was. Right.
It's true.
Which, by the way, that feels a little late. They should have figured that out.
It feels a little
beforehand.
late, and dare I say, it feels fake. Now,
it does feel fake.
It's just like, oh, like that's the whole thing, Like, come on, bro. You've never dropped anything. You're just holding shit perfectly for thousands of years. You've never dropped a single thing and been like, why did that fall so fast? Come on, give me a break. No way,
bro. Next week on This Is the Show. This Is the Show investigates gravity. You and I get to the bottom of gravity.
Dude, we're like that other This Is the Show podcast where they're doing like dumbass conspiracy theories.
That's us, bro.
We've gone full circle into their like podcast model.
Dude, that's
no disrespect to the boys.
That's a poll quote for sure, Alex. Gravity? You never drop something? No way, bro. Come on. It's crazy. It is crazy that it's like Newton's just walking around holding his fucking morning coffee, never has a sip fall out. Oops, I stumbled. Little coffee came out. What is that? Huh? You don't know what that is? You don't know what that is. You know what that is. Bro, what if there was one guy where Newton was like, I just discovered gravity because an apple fell from the tree. I bet you there was one guy that was like, come on, we all do that. Come on. Like they're busy.
Oof. Newton's a little late, we knew that. We just got other shit to do, bro. Like build these pyramids, like get the like.
Well, that's the thing is like, he's like, oh, an apple fell on my head. And some guy's like, well, maybe it'd be nice if you got up under that tree and helped us with the farming, bro.
Oh, napping, huh? Yeah, must be nice.
Old Newty naps at it again. Oh, he discovered gravity this time. No shit, Sherlock. What are you going to come up with next? The wind?
Yeah, you know what I did? Provided for my family of 4.
It's always muddy. I'm always drafty. It's the 1600s. It sucks. Get your shit together, Newton. I got to know when Isaac Newton came up with gravity. I got to look it up real quick. Isaac Newton.
When
was he
invent
alive?
Gravity.
Okay, he was alive from 1643 to 1727. You're telling me in the 1500s during the Renaissance they didn't know what gravity was? I don't buy it. I don't buy it either, bro. I'm with you. Fuck that.
No way.
Fuck
No way.
Isaac Newton.
Yeah, fake.
Yeah, bro, fake. This is
Fell
gonna go-
off plus L plus ratio.
This is gonna go viral on TikTok, and some 12-year-old's gonna take it as fact.
Yeah. Yeah, little does he know that we're the actual idiots.
Oh yeah, I mean that's the whole premise of the show. What time are we at here? I need to check the odometer.
We're at the mark, yeah. I think
We're
we
at the
can-
hour.
Yeah, I think we can plug them up.
I kind of want to get into gravity more. We could do it next week. We're not gonna remember. There's no way.
No.
Well, next week we got an open episode, but the week after that we're booked. We got
It's
the
a Valentine's
Valentine's.
Day
We got to do
episode.
the Valentine's one.
Yeah.
God, I gotta buy I don't even know if Valentine's candy is like the Russell Stover's box and shit, right? Like the heart box can. We gotta buy.
It's a lot of it's a lot of chocolate. It's a lot of the chalk hearts.
Don't even get me
the-
started. I mean,
the
truly.
sweethearts. Is that what they're called?
No, they're not sweet. Well, yeah, they're sweethearts, but they're not sweet tarts. Sweet tarts, fuck.
No, sweet tarts are the best. No, sweethearts, I think is like the brand with like
Yeah,
the little
it's fucking,
cutesy writing on it,
which are just Tums. I mean, we'll get into it, but like those are just Tums. Like you're not get out of here with the sweethearts.
It's just calcium bicarbonate. We know your model.
Yeah, bro, we know what it is. You do the same thing for the fucking what's it called? For the isn't there another candy like that?
Oh, you're thinking of Necco wafers.
Necco wafers. We talked about Did we talk about those? I think we did talk about those. No, we didn't.
We did, but we didn't eat them. But
of course not. We don't. I mean, we didn't have upset stomachs. I mean, why would we eat those?
Let's be honest, we always have upset stomachs.
Yeah, bro. I mean, how about this? Ready for this?
What you got?
Never
Do
never too far.
Dude, I'll say if we get to a point, dare I say that we can get like sponsored or anything, it's got to be Tums or Pepto. It's got to be the number one, bro.
Yeah.
I'll do an ad read for Tums any day of the week.
Yeah, bro. Other podcasts are out here reading like Viore clothing and all that shit, or like
Yeah.
BetterHelp or whatever. You and I, Tums. I mean, they
Yeah.
could be the unofficial sponsor because you and I take Tums. I want to
That's
get
true.
sponsored by things that I use.
That's true.
Or like what else? What else is that? Sleepy Time Tea. The Celeste brand.
Celestial Seasonings.
Bro, sponsor us. We will do an ad.
Where
read
you
for
at?
guys? We'll
Put
do
the-
a big ad read.
for sure.
But anyways, yeah, I guess it's time to plug them up. This is a good.
But-
Well, thanks for writing in.
Yeah,
And
Emily, thanks so much. Be like Emily, folks. Write in. This is the show 69@gmail.com. Give us your questions. Give us your concerns. Do you want to hear us? Whatever you want, we'll do it.
Honestly, yeah. And if there's somebody out there that's listening, if you want us to do a watch along for the rundown, we'll do it. If somebody writes in and requests it, we will do it for sure.
One like, and we do that.
One comment, one email, we're doing it. Like we're setting aside a Wednesday night where me and Alex have to watch the rundown and
100%.
comment. Honestly, that would be pretty fun. Doing a random action movie. That could be a good watch.
That's a
along.
summer vibe. That's a summer vibe.
Yeah, bro. We watch Skyscraper together. Woo, baby.
It's just the Rock movies. Is that?
But anyways, yeah, email in. This is the show 69@gmail.com. Like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. This is the show podcast. Find it in our bios. We got it in our personal bios. We got it on our Instagram bio. And here's the thing, folks, the YouTube channel and the podcast links to the Spotify and the Apple podcast. If you're a listener, share it with your friends. If you really enjoy this podcast and you
Big
just have a
facts.
random person, we are word of mouth right now. This is how it starts for podcasts like us. We're all word of mouth. If you're at a party and you don't know anybody, it'd be a great conversation starter.
Oh, true.
A fun podcast that they can check out called This is the Show Podcast. like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Leave a comment on the YouTube. I think Claudio did that last week. Shout out to Claudio for doing that, trying to get the engagement
Love
up.
Claudio.
We appreciate it. And then you can follow us. This is the show 69 on Twitter. This is the podcast on Instagram. This is the show podcast on TikTok. And this is a good episode. We got some clips from this episode. I have a clip earlier this week and I haven't finished it yet. I got to post it. I'll post it hopefully tomorrow to advertise for tomorrow's episode. That should be that'll be the goal. But we're going to have good clips from this one.
Love
this
it.
Is big. But
Love it. Yeah.
and you can follow me at Casey McGowan with 2 N's. I don't really tweet, but I don't know if you've looked at my Twitter recently. My Twitter is all retweets of the podcast. It's just I only talk about the podcast. I don't tweet about anything else. It's just I put a tweet out there and I take it down because I'm like, nah, I just want it to be podcast stuff. So I just that's all I post about.
I love it. Yeah. And you can follow me, Twitter, Instagram at Alaska, AALASKAA. I'm always on there talking about esports, gaming, design stuff, you name it. I'm on there, the podcast. And with that, episode 43, the real episode 43, as always, we love doing this for you. We love hanging out with you, getting your Friday, getting the weekend going. Until next time, I'm one of your hosts, Alex Webb.
Casey McGowan.
See you later. We love you.
We said it together. That was fun.
Cute.